Yep. You guys are straight-ish on your camera feed there. Oh. I'm Twitch, the Shieldbearer of Faith. Who are you, sir?
I'm Cody with SojournGear.com.
So what are we doing out here, man?
We are just taking a hike with our gear. I got a chest rig, little day pack, and our toys.
Yep. Backpack. And something I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about. I kind of alluded that I might make a video on this a few days ago. After we took our first walk, I was talking about some things on Patreon that kind of struck me on the walk. Like, one day this might not be for fun anymore. You know how we're talking about that. So I also wanted to hit on what exactly we're carrying. And then I'm going to at least recommend that you share, but I'm going to share too, that how I feel about what I'm wearing. And I'm going to try to be as honest in my critiquing of gear, because if I can improve whatever the heck I'm wearing, I will. So you are really kind of a go-to person in my mind for wearable things, because not only do you make your own clothing, like what you're wearing, but then it's well made. So that's a big takeaway for me. There's a difference there. And I kind of like your take on what you're carrying, even down to, like, if you wanted to talk about any specific thoughts on why your rifle's set up the way it is. What are you wearing and why? What's your thoughts behind your gear?
Sure. So it is wintertime in Oklahoma, so it's gorgeous. It's like t-shirt weather out here. But I've been working on just some simple field clothes, or just regular clothes. So this is kind of a durable stretch woven fabric. Yep. It's fairly durable, but it has some stretch into it. So I'm a believer in stretchy pants, believe it or not. So
you're even wearing shoe covers.
Yes, and these are gaiters. If you guys don't know about gaiters, these I actually made too, but they just strap onto your shoe and they keep all the crap out of your shoe. Like Twitch is wearing boots.
Yep. Danners, man.
My issue with boots is they always rub my feet wrong. So what I found is that, like, lightweight shoes with gaiters is like a really good way to go. Lightweight, comfortable, stuff like that.
Yep. Each boot of mine, each boot is, I think, 66 ounces.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. If you're being honest. Now, they're the most durable shoe I've ever had, but yeah, that's a great idea.
Yes. So just a simple pair of pants, and then the shirt, you can't see the front of it because this is covering it, but it's just a simple kind of a field shirt with a button cuff here, and then it has nice wide cuffs so that you can roll it up if it's hot like this too. And just a simple button front. But what I'm really excited about is you can see it has a hood to it, and it's made out of the same material. So if it's a little bit windy or something like that, I love being able to flip up this hood.
Do you ever make your own hats?
I have, but this is just a cheap one.
You're the coolest guy, man.
Although I will share this too, this little project. This is just a cheap hat, but I sewed this little Velcro keeper on the front. And so I usually try to wear safety glasses, and this little Velcro keeper retains the glasses on your hat. You ever walk out of the house and forget your eye pro? So anyway, that's
might be getting ready to have a vehicle with us.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we'll keep going until they get here.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's all really cool. Have you showed them your backpack yet?
No, this is a backpack that I made as well. It's just kind of a traditional deal. Nothing, I've played with mesh and stuff before on the back, but I found it just collects grit and stuff like this. So this is like really sleek. There's no pockets on the outside.
Notice the depth it's not really deep off your back.
Uh-huh.
It's a really good quantity of space, I think.
Yeah, and so at any rate, just a simple pack.
And then you said you've become kind of a true believer of Camelback.
Yes.
Hydration systems, right?
Yes. Simple tube comes out of the side, and then having this to drink on the go, as opposed to having to dig something out of here is I really like it.
So are you actually carrying canteens as well?
I am. I didn't prepare very well for this. I'm just putting a canteen in either side for the weight. Usually I'll keep maybe a first aid kit and maybe a smaller water bottle with a Cliff Bar, something like that.
Just simple though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cody likes things simple, which is so funny when you really actually know him, because his stuff is so well made. It's not simple. Like, it's not. If I could do it, maybe I could call it simple, man. I'm a simple-minded guy. So your stuff is simple in function, not simple in design, in my opinion, because your stuff is so well made. it's simple because you're that good at it. That's the cool thing to me. Every time I'm in the office and I see you working, it is amazing what you can do. People like me are never going to be able to accomplish that stuff. And then one thing is we were just doing some demos with this, but I got to do a shout out to you, this is a tourniquet pouch that he has made. I've got it inverted. Obviously, you can run it either way. And I added just a simple piece of paracord here that becomes like a pull tab lanyard. And you can get to your tourniquet pretty easy that way. I really like these pouches. I'm a big fan of using just rubber bands for attaching tourniquets. The downside is once they break, then you can't, you know, reuse the rubber band, right? So it's great for speed. I could mount one here, rip it off. But a reusable pouch that also protects the integrity of the Velcro of the tourniquet is phenomenal, and it does a great job with that. So that's something that I'm really excited about that you have come out with. I've got a couple of them now. And as far as why you carry the certain things, any thoughts on that? Why do you carry canteens instead of just the Camelback?
Right.
Why?
As a backup, if my water bladder got a hole in it or it failed, I would still have a container to carry water.
Yep.
I'm not a super expert, but I just like having a couple of containers. They've stood the test of time.
Yeah, they've been around a minute. Yeah. And you even said that you carry a canteen cup usually, right?
Yes. I don't know if I'll be able to dig it out while it's on me, but the canteen cup nests inside of this pouch. Oh yeah, I can get it.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, come on. You can't beat it. You can boil water if you needed to.
Which, I don't know if y'all can tell. I can tell. I can tell you've done that. It is black.
But canteen cup, and then of course, you guys all know that this just nests right inside of it. So it's slick.
The cool thing to me too is a lot of the ideas that he's bringing up have stood the test of time, kind of like he said. And we've got a friend that is kind of a proponent of the canteen cup. Yeah, survival saw. So it's saw is his kind of handle, and survival
applications weapon systems.
Yep,
check him out.
Yeah, and he's
YouTube.
he's a really cool guy, and probably one of the largest wealths of knowledge in a variety of categories that I've ever met in person. So that's really cool to me. So he's a proponent of the canteen cup and the canteen, and so we're kind of, I guess, taking that idea and you're running with it. I like it, literally,
right.
literally
right.
running with it.
Right.
So on my end, mine is a slightly different idea. So his chest rig has a little bit more depth to it. So it's running 2 mags per pouch, but obviously you could run just one. Mine doesn't have that capability. So mine, the benefit that I like with this is it limits me. And I'm one of these guys that if I have the capability to hold more, I will. And that's actually a problem sometimes. Whereas the depth of this rig is very shallow. It's actually an AK chest rig that I have mounted some very high speed gauze packs in the bottom of so that I can run AR mags.
Smart.
Yeah, it's easy and it's cheap, and the packs of gauze are, you know, plastic wrapped themselves, because there is a consideration of if there gets to be water down in the pouch, is it going to retain in that gauze? So you have to keep that in mind. Make sure the gauze is just still wrapped in its compression wrapping. And then on my belt end, I've got a a drop leg system of holster here, Glock 19X. I really like that. The belt itself, I think you made as well. I think it was one of your earliest prototypes of this. Pistol mags and S-Tac. I've got a quick reload back here, S-Tac. Nothing real fancy though. I have, oh, this is OG. I have the original. The original, there's one of these.
Wow.
The original ARC prototype.
Heck yeah.
Before any improvements were made. And I still am using it. Some of the improvements were just right off the bat obvious, but man, it's still a great, again, it's credit to you, bro. It's still just great construction. So I'm like, I'm running this on my battle belt.
Yeah.
So you can see that real high speed rubber band job down there, right? And you can see the dilemmas you'll run into if you don't have any official covering. I've got mud gunked up in my tourniquet here. Now, because what I do for a living is train people, I can tell you that's not going to stop this tourniquet from working. We saturate Cat Gen 7 tourniquets in mud and muck and water and fake blood. And for the most part, they keep running. I have watched students go and rinse off their cat tourniquets because they were so gunked with mud, they could not possibly function. They spray it off and they go right back to using it. And that's impressive to me. So I'm kind of a proponent of Cat Gen 7 tourniquets. I don't make any money in any way ever off of them, but they work really well. Softies, similar. They work really reliably as well. I've also seen those function in all that dirt, mud, fake blood, water, all that stuff that I just mentioned repeatedly. And that's something that's a big deal. You got to be able to train with this stuff. And I guess that's the whole point of this video, is to try to encourage you guys to do training. And it doesn't have to cost a whole lot of money. Pretty much every time that I teach a class, somebody asks, hey, how can I go and continue to practice the stuff that you guys have done to us in Responder 3 usually on my own? And that's a great question. And I really like the idea of keeping things somewhat simple if I'm going to train on my own. Simple can look like put your gear on and walk. Yep. Or go put your gear on and do burpees and then try to put a tourniquet on. You'll start to find out different features or details or issues with your stuff just because of that. An example that I'll be honest about is between my chest rig and my 19-round pistol mag, it has just enough space to start pinching my side, depending on how I'm walking. So that's just something to know. It has not caused me to immediately say I'm going to remove that mag. What it is it's a friction point though. So if this was real, God forbid it ever is, then I would have to consider, if I was having to wear this stuff long term, is that going to eventually rub me to the point of a blister, which is then another problem. And it changes your functionality even further because now you have like a wound, right? In my backpack, that's not even really as relevant as what's in there. If you don't have a whole bunch of gear or a whole bunch of money to buy gear, this bag was like $50 when I got it. It's not a big deal. It doesn't matter what bag. And then put stuff in it. That stuff could literally be rocks from right over there. The idea is add weight and then go move with it. And you'll find out real fast that, like I did a few minutes ago, we were dry firing out here. You'll wear yourself out without having to try very hard. And then you'll hopefully have the same takeaway I did. I said to him, I said, thank God we're not having to do this every day. Let's not rush towards a stupid hazard. Hope it helps, guys. Have a great day. And thank you all for joining us on our woods walk. We'll see you later.